Fruits and vegetables are often completely processed, canned, labeled, and crated, ready to ship within a few hours after they have been picked in the fields.
Have you ever wondered why the tomatoes you're buying are so tough to cut? Why they're so tasteless? Why no matter how much you add them, you just don't get that real tomato flavor? Or maybe you don't know what tomatoes should actually taste like. Well, to know more about why the money you're paying for your tomatoes is really going to waste and what you should be doing to really pick the right tomatoes to really make your dishes exciting and bright. It's really bizarre, honestly, and I've only noticed this in the past few months after I happened to chance upon this documentary. It's all about how our food was completely changed by these big corporations. And what that helped me to learn is that the tomatoes that I'm tasting, there is a difference from what I used to taste. And by that, all I mean is I used to have access to farm to table tomatoes and fresh vegetables and fruits and so on. I wasn't crazy. It basically justified that in my head. I wasn't crazy to believe that the tomatoes inside is really tough. It's hard to chew. I put a beautiful slice of it in my burger hoping it's going to add a bunch of flavor. It's going to be juicy and it's going to be immensely soft and ripe. But honestly, 1 or 2 burgers ago, I added a nice half-inch slice of tomato. It looked beautiful. You probably can find the picture on my Instagram channel. And it looked beautiful, as you all can see. But when I bit into it, it was like I was biting into a potato. And I was wondering to myself, why? What is this? What am I biting into? That's like, I can hear the chew. You shouldn't be able to hear what tomatoes sound like in your mouth. It should just melt in your mouth, right? Or do I have the entire concept of tomatoes wrong in my head? Let me know in the comments below if you like chewy tomatoes. Check out what Wolfgang Puck had to say about how the tomato was changed completely through industrialization.
Supermarkets need their thing to look the same way completely, have everything the same size, the same color. This one is like eating cotton. You know, it has no flavor at all. Why eat it and why pay your money? Why spend your hard-earned money on something which has no flavor?
And that's what you're paying for. That's what I'm paying for. And even after knowing all of these things and what I'm paying for and how the tomato is not really the tomato, I still end up paying for it because guess what? There's no other alternative that is conveniently close to me. It has completely taken over our food aisles, and that's how we've become kind of trapped in this cycle.
Crisscrossing the country.
In that traveling, they lose their taste. The chemicals that are used on them result in a product that just doesn't taste as good as the old-fashioned one.
By the way, if you're not subscribed to my channel already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you're the first ones to watch the video so you don't miss out on any new content. So let's learn more about how these tomatoes are picked and processed through the supply chain.
The tomato is a prime example. It's been selected for storage and for keeping rather than for flavor and the qualities the consumer really wants in a tomato. They have to be picked green and packed and held in freezers and refrigerators and shipped long distances. And so they don't have those quality sugars that only come at maturity.
Okay, so let's analyze this. So these tomatoes are picked when they are green, like Granny Smith apples, and then packed up in boxes, shipped in trucks, frozen, and then it's gassed to artificially ripen them. Now that rapidly ripens the fruit and makes the outside beautiful. Beautiful. So you end up buying it, but guess what? The inside still did not ripen properly, and the sugars and the basic chemistry inside the tomatoes did not actually properly get ripened. And you can blame this on a lot of things. Increasing population, increased food demands, decreased land space, decrease of resources. Okay, but is it okay to eat food that looks like food, but it's not food? If you knew what was happening behind the scenes, you'd be more aware. So that's what I'm trying to do here. If you're really interested in how industrialization completely changed our food, I would really recommend this documentary by Real Stories and read the book Tomatoland. I recently became familiar with it and the premise is amazing, and that's definitely on my reading list. Now, those of you who are lovers of pizza, especially Chicago-style deep dish pizza from Lou Malnati's, let's say, well, what makes their pizzas so great? Well, if you check out some of the documentaries on how they bring about the ingredients from farm to table, you'll learn more about it.
Once the tomatoes are harvested off the vine, they're washed and then steam peeled in the old world way. And then all that freshness is sealed within a can within 6 or 7 hours of being picked. And that freshness holds then for the next 12 months for us.
These tomatoes are grown specifically for Lou Malnati's, and they're picked at the perfect harvest when they are bright red, spotless, and immensely juicy. Like, I wouldn't do this, but look at these guys just chomping down on raw tomatoes because it's just that sweet. It's just that delicious. I should be able to do that with the tomatoes that are picked for me, which is ready for me to choose from at the grocery store. Why is it that I find the canned San Marzano type tomatoes are tastier than something that's local, fresh? Because it's not local and fresh. It's not plump, it's not juicy, it's not sweet. So I've been using passata or San Marzano type diced tomatoes or whole tomatoes from a can just to use in my recipes because that gives me the most flavor, and that's not right. I try to get organic tomatoes when I can, but it's not always the best option or available. And this is especially hard for me because I truly love and enjoy tomatoes. If you follow my stories on a day-to-day basis, it's in basically all of my recipes, and I don't know what I would do without them. Plus, they're great for you as well. You know that? Plus, they're great for you as well. You know what gives tomatoes their classic red color? It's lycopene. And lycopene is great because it contains tons of antioxidants, which is known to fight against sunburns, prevent certain types of cancers, prevent diabetes and Alzheimer's. Now, why would you not want to eat a fruit that is great in pizza, great in a salad, and is a fighter when it comes to your health? And I also love them because they were my second favorite vegetable before I knew it was a fruit after the potato. And I try to incorporate tomatoes as much as I can, and it's great to finally know why the tomatoes haven't been tasting the way that I remember. Now, what I want you to do is that the next time you go to the grocery store, keep a lookout for these tomatoes. Why don't you pick what you usually buy and then go out of your way to buy a organic tomato and try to see if you can identify the differences. If you can't find any differences, that's great. You're not missing out on anything then. But if you prefer one over the other, now you know why. Try to use this as an excuse to go to the farmer's market. I know it's fall, it's getting colder, but I'm sure your local town or city has indoor farmers markets. Go and taste these organically produced fruits and vegetables compared to what's mass produced. And this is not just limited to the tomato. This proves to be true for a lot of different types of vegetables. It can be your green beans, your avocados, your green peas, and that's just to name a few. So here's the incentive for you. I'm putting forth a challenge for everyone. Go pick your favorite tomatoes and make your favorite recipe, either your personal favorite or something from my website. So click a few pictures and send it to me on Instagram. My handle is Cooking with Anadi, and I'll feature all of you in the next week's video. So I hope you guys liked this video. I'll put the documentary links and all my resources that I used for this video in the description box below, because the more you know, the better you are. Also, don't forget to give it a big like and comment down below and share your thoughts with me. If you want more videos just like this, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon, and I'll see you guys again on the next one. Bye guys.